Hey, let me know if it's working this time around. Hold on a sec. Okay, so it's giving her now. Wait for everyone to come back. Okay, we're good. Thanks, Lydia. Thanks, JP. Okay, so it's giving her. Okay, I'm just sending this out to Telegram and Instagram again. A slight hiccup, indeed. Okay, so and now Instagram. I just did that. Telegram. Does anyone here come from? Is anyone coming here from Telegram? It was just it's something to do with my VPN, Sonny. So it was a technical error. It wasn't censorship. That's the thing with Rumble. They have a pretty long leash on for you on here. Okay, shout out to Kendall. Shout out to all you guys. I'm going to tell you this story, and we have a lot to discuss. And from the videos I saw in California, it's weird. You know, when a video, this is something that is not necessarily important for all of you to know, but it's something that I need to know. And it's that when you take a video and you talk over it, that doesn't mean that you have fair use. Like it can still be copyrighted. And for some reason, disaster videos, I think I know why. So there's a company called like Viral Hog, and no pun intended, they go and they hog all the viral videos. They buy the rights to them, and then they go copyright strike everyone who reposts them, and then they charge them like 500 bucks if they want them to lift the strike. So they have like a total income stream from basically copyright striking people's videos. And anyways, so for some reason, disaster videos, like the two videos I did of the Maui aftermath and another aftermath, I think it was Jamaica, got like copyrighted. And yeah, I guess some news company owns that video they took from the helicopter of the crash. But I mean, come on, man. Merry Boxing Day, exactly, Jazzy. So I want to be covering these floods more, but I'm gonna have to do like screenshots and stuff, no videos. And even those you're not 100% safe on. You still got to watch out. But anyway, so listen, I was sitting there and talking to my uncle, and he says that he thinks in 2026 there's going to be disclosure. And he brought up the fact that Ronald Reagan, in whatever year, came out and said, and let me know, by the way, if Mr. Chris is super cool is back on the live as well, because I wanted to answer him. But shout out to all the new people as well, like even Steve. Shout out to even Steve, man. Did you just come from Instagram then? So, guys, listen to this. Ronald Reagan in the 90s, or I keep saying a date, I don't know the date, came out and said that if only there was a common enemy like otherworldly, basically aliens, to unite us all. And that is, I think, a perfect example of priming, right? Like he's priming the audience. Whoa, that would be crazy if aliens came and we all had to unite um, against this threat. Well, David Icke has been saying for decades that global problems call for global solutions. And so it would be very helpful if they're trying to make a one world government that there's a problem that the whole world faces, which the result of that is new laws, regulations, and things that are passed that they never otherwise could pass if there wasn't this problem. Like what happened after 9/11 with the Patriot Act and all this. They could never have passed these sweeping laws about spying on citizens and whatnot if something big like 9/11 didn't happen. Now, some people say, well, they take advantage of these events and use them for political gain and whatnot. But also, some people think that they create the situation and have a predetermined solution to it. You know, it's shocking. Nova, shout out to Nova. She said, "Can you drink?" Or he, maybe he or she said, Shout out to DJ, by the way. He said, "Can you drink too much Chad mode? LOL." I mean, I think I've maxed out on like 6 or 7 scoops in a day of the Chad mode. If I'm just drinking it like all afternoon, you should go. I think a good balance is like 2 to 4 scoops a day is great. Uh, in the morning and in the afternoon. You don't want to drink it too close to bedtime. Which, by the way, it's freaking Boxing Day, dude. And listen, forget about consumerism and all the new TVs you can buy today. Shock is activating a deal that is better than Black Friday for a bunch of free chalk, amazing discounts on their superfoods. We're talking about, and I'll finish this alien story in a second, but they really are throwing the kitchen sink at us with the chemicals in the food, the air, the water supply. And I just saw a tweet from RFK saying that Wi-Fi breaks down the blood-brain barrier. And I've heard other stuff about Wi-Fi, but not that. Like, I knew it's not quite ideal, but we're exposed to this, man. There's not a sample, there's not a group of people who's not exposed really to frequencies, unless you live in some mountainous village in Tibet. Um, you're not really, you are exposed to frequencies. Even when I was in Grenada, I'm on this island in the Caribbean. There's a gigantic cell tower right in the middle of town. Everyone's sleeping around it. I mean, it's freaking shocking. I wanted to talk to JD as well. So I'm going to announce that we're live on Instagram in a second, and there's going to be a bunch more people on here. So I'm going to tell you guys the deal first, so you have first come, first serve. Shout out to Rob, who loves his lit, and JD, who loves his mail stack he just got, and freaking Copper Rock, who's doing 2 cups of lit a day. He loves his chocolate. Shout out to the Copper. That's exactly right, Lydia. Lydia, you're paying attention. Just so you know, you may think, like, just know that what you just said is 100% true, and the vast majority of people do not know or would not believe that. So don't like ego it, but like you do know something that is hidden from the masses 100%, which is freaking shocking. Shout out to Danny, who turns her Wi-Fi off at night. Good call. So for the deal, let me actually double check what the deal is tonight, because I heard it was insane. So I know that we're going to be doing free bags of the chocolate powder, which is the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, which is, listen to this. You may have had cacao before, surely. You've had chocolate. You may have had organic cacao before, but it's lower odds. It is highly unlikely that you have ever had organic and heirloom cacao, unless you're Copper Rock, who's chugging it right now. So Chalk is giving away, holy shit, free lit, free chocolate powder, organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, and 60% off. So listen to how this deal works. You may be saying free, but 60%. Listen. So the number one supplement at chalk.com for men and women is the hot water purified Shilajit. We have 12 clinical studies on it. It's a hormone optimizer. It's a fertility booster. It's believed to decalcify the pineal gland. It increases testosterone for men, balances hormones for women, and it stimulates the production of new brain cells. So that's neurogenesis. That's creating new brain cells. It's freaking memory, focus, concentration. It's like the pill from the movie Limitless. That's the number one supplement for men and women. If you go to chalk.com, I'm going to put the link in the chat right here. Okay. Go to chalk.com. They ship out of Georgia. They're based in Texas. All American customer service team. Patriots in control. If you go to chalk.com and you're one of the first 3 people who get a male or female vitality stack with that code 60life, you get a 60% off lifetime discount, which you can cancel or modify at any time. And automatically you're going to be, if you're in the first 3, getting the organic heirloom cacao $100 bag of chocolate powder included in your order. I wanted to mention this at the beginning of the live. I'm sure we'll discuss more about it, but this is a smoking deal. We're talking detox, phthalates, heavy metals, microplastics. Get all of it out of you. Get superfoods into you. And people think, by the way, that cacao like literally is top 2 or 3 superfoods in the natural world. So we do know about Shilajit, and ashwagandha is in the male and female stack too, which is a hormone optimizer, super pro fertile. The ashwagandha is freaking awesome. And it's up there. And that's why it's in the male and female stack. It massively boosts your melatonin production, so you get 1,000 times better sleep while you're taking it. It's hormones, it's fertility. You're going to love the ashwagandha. That's why it's in the male and female stack. But cacao, there is something about it, dude. Your DNA, your hormones, your brain, it's freaking awesome. And that is also why, if you notice, like they take anything good and they kind of put it upside down, right? So cacao itself is like this ancient heirloom, super good for you thing. But what do you get today from your average chocolate product? Well, actually, it just turned out, you know how Kraft singles can't call those fucking slices, they can't call them cheese anymore? Nestle just got exposed. They can no longer call Twix, Kit Kat, and all these other major chocolate bars, they can no longer call them chocolate because they don't legally contain enough cacao to be considered chocolate. So this is the world we live in. I thought we'd be in flying cars, but instead we're changing the labels on chocolate bars because they don't contain enough chocolate because it's mostly fake. It's just shocking, man. So that's what we get with regular, and normal cacao. It's like full of heavy metals, pesticides, blah blah blah. It's just unfortunate. JD said, I think I forgot to take the lit this morning. I'm gonna get some now. Dude, JD, pour up a cup of lit with me, man. I'm gonna get one going in a minute here too. Shout out to JD, dude. So I'm gonna announce we're live on Instagram. We're gonna talk about this flood and also oh, this guy's funny. Um the flood and the alien thing, because you know what was the post I saw today? Was it shared in this group? Hold on a sec. Everyone will remember where they were. Hold on, what is it? Uh, yeah, yeah. Oh no, that was the RFK. Um, anyway, people think that there is a. It's in. Hold on a sec. People think that there's a moment coming here. Hold on. The word on the street is that there's going to be a some event, dude. People think it's around the corner, but we'll see. I'm trying to remember where I saw that tweet though. But let me go live on Instagram quick and let everyone know that we are live on Rumble right now. Hold on. I just saw a guy's video, by the way, and he says that he gave a whole. Okay, there's a bunch of people on the site right now, by the way. So make sure you put that 60 life code on. Again, this deal literally is better than Black Friday. 60% off for life, any subscription or bundle. And if you get a stack, you're getting the free lit powder in your order. Just make sure you apply that discount. He said that basically it started off with, it used to be not too long ago that it was like God, family, faith. Uh, when baby boomers were getting going, the country was strong, but then everything got easier, faster, more efficient, and relaxed, right? And then they started changing the theater, like movies and TV. Some doctor apparently came out and said, actually, it turns out like adultery is way more common and actually kind of normal. And then we, after that, had all these movies come out, like apparently some of the most popular female like romance movies. I don't know, I said female, but like romantic movies are about cheating. The Secret, Titanic. Think about the Titanic for a second. This girl is married, shags a guy on a freaking boat, and 80 years later is like dreaming of him, not her husband and all the kids in her life. She's like still crying about this homeless guy she shagged on a boat. Like that's just fucked up. So, anyways, my point is it changed everything. But apparently they targeted women first. The way he described it was they programmed and changed the way women kind of operate because then men will like meet that in the middle. Like they didn't go after men first; they went after women with the women's liberation movement and everything. So they have changed our society pretty significantly in a quite short amount of time, to be honest. But isn't that crazy? I looked at it. It's like the top 20 romance movies are about cheating. It's just shocking, man. Emergency flooding. What was it? Yeah, dude. You know that. Look, look, look. This is the most. Hold on a sec. Okay, so night minimums are up to 64 degrees in Illinois. Night temperatures of typical of July. Hundreds of records pulverized all over central states with up to 8 degrees Fahrenheit margins. And the weekend will be hotter in some areas, much hotter. It's the most extreme event in US climatic history. So, heat wave, cold wave. Remember, like a week ago, I was talking. Okay, true, Danny. Remember a week ago, I was talking about this wicked cold snap and how there's like a crazy cold front coming in and it's like record breaking. Now it's warm again. I don't know, man. Okay, true. That checks out, Danny. But still kind of whack, right? Unless that changes things. Um, is California still flooding, or is the flood done, but it's just still a shitstorm over there? Shout out to Chris, man. I meant to reply to your previous messages, dude. California flooding. Extreme. Hold on. Yeah, Chris. So rainbows, dude. Tell me about rainbows, man. Chris, I wanted to catch up with you too, dude, in that group chat. Hold on a second. This emoji. There we go. Oh, it just stopped raining an hour and a half ago. Really, Danny. So is it flooded out around you, Danny, or what? Dude, thanks, Chris. I appreciate that, man. I am getting some pretty good feedback on some of them. You mean the book ones too? Those are chill, eh? That's right, Lydia. That's a bridge too far for many people's consciousness as well, to be honest. Welcome, everyone. So keep your head on a swivel if you're in California. We're getting breaking news of very unfortunate things. This guy says nothing ever happens. I know that's like a common kind of joke, like nothing ever happens. Something just happened, dude. And also, not only that, we have some of, or is considered to be, the most extreme climactic event in US climate history with the warm front that's coming along now as well. Now, here's the thing, weather changes, I know that. But do you know, Pura Vida Tika, do you know that the more that the weather goes on these wild swings, the RPG, I was actually saying this cold front was crazy, but now there's a warm front. Um, and it's a little bit more serious than people think. The more the weather changes, shockingly, the more people go, yeah, there really is something with the weather. And then people, it's like common knowledge. We all know the weather's been acting funny. And then they put in our face as well, it's this climate, it's changing, man. And it's because of our cars. And that's why we need to pass all these climate laws, which will limit you to a carbon credit system. This is the plan, dude. You got to understand. I'm sorry if you think this is just a random, this is just a unorganized. There is an organization behind this. We're going to be doing a deep dive on it. We're live right now on Rumble, which is free to download, free speech, and free to watch. You can click the link in my bio and come over. We're also doing something pretty insane for the whatchamacallit, Boxing Day. Chalk's giving away a bunch of free superfoods. This is the chocolate powder, organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia. We also might be doing a couple freebies of the Chad mode, which is that blue drink you've seen in my stories a million times. It's freaking awesome stuff, dude. Super detoxing. We know we're being sprayed with something. I'll tell you, we are being sprayed with something. And they already sprayed us in the 60s in Missouri and everything with radioactive isotopes. So it has happened. So things have happened. The guy who said nothing ever happens. So anyways, we're live right now on Rumble. It's at the link in my bio. Click the link. You'll see the Rumble live stream link. Boom. And when you go on there, you can make an account so you can comment. I do recommend that because then you can also turn on live notifications. But Shadow said, how do we stop this, dude? See, that's a question that a smart person asks. Instead of being like, oh, we're screwed. It's not just in America. That's a good question. The bat, it's not just in America. It is worldwide, dude. Absolutely worldwide. I saw it in freaking Cuba. I saw it all over wherever I went. They're doing it all over the world, dude. And you can go on Google Maps and zoom in on Street View and look up in the sky. They're spraying everywhere. This is like a biblical thing. This is a monumental, like the fate of humanity thing. I know it's fun to joke around and, and Australia, dude, Australia in September, everyone saw the same clouds in Australia. That was so shocking that it went viral of the roll clouds that was like completely parallel lines for as far as the eye could see. And people go, it's this new cloud NASA launched, or rather identified, and it's a mixture of hydrogen when the air gets to a certain temperature. They make you sound like you just don't know what you're talking about if you realize something looks strange. They tell you to not believe what your own eyes sees. That's what it is. So I want to talk to you guys more about this, but I want to do this on Rumble, not here for obvious reasons. So I'd love to see you guys on. I'm telling you, if you are into like truth and awareness and whatnot, you should have Rumble because it's free speech over there. And you don't get strikes for talking about us being sprayed, which is proven. Okay. But dude, Shadow, I want you to come too because you're another Australian guy like the other guy who's commenting. And you're asking good questions. I want to continue the conversation, but I can't on Instagram. So we're live on Rumble right now. Again, guys, it's at the link in my bio. All you got to do is click my profile. Mary Crystal said, "Can you send me the Rumble link?" I can't. Oh, you could, Mary. Just go to one of my recent posts and comment the word Rumble, or comment Rumble actually on any post on my page, and you'll get a direct link to your DMs on Instagram that you can click. That takes you to my profile there, and then you'll see me streaming there right now. Okay. So that's another option. But otherwise, you could just go to the link in my bio. Okay. Much love, everyone. We'll see you on Rumble, man. Come on over to Rumble. See, I'd love to say more on Instagram. Shout out to Srorex, who said, I came over from Insta. Welcome, dudes. Welcome, Savannah. Welcome, Chris. Shout out to Chris. Okay, if that's true, Chris, then that's news to me, dude. Thank you for warning. Dude, I appreciate you like warning me about that, because I literally just heard that once and was like, yeah, okay, I could believe that. But if it's actually a weak angle, then yeah, I won't say that anymore. I heard there's a new thing instead of YouTube, Gmail, Google Drive, since all that being to everyone knowing now. Yeah, Nova, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, man. But isn't that true still, Chris, that you don't get rainbows if you're not in a dome? And if you're high enough up, the rainbow is actually totally circular, right? It's actually globe shaped. We'll talk about the shape of the Earth in a moment. So a few things, guys. I guess let me pretend that if I didn't know too much about what's going on, how I can explain it. Like, basically what you have right now from whistleblowers, which, by the way, like, I didn't make this stuff up. I'm going off of whistleblowers, declassified stuff. There's people who put this stuff together. One of the guys' names is Dane Wigington, and he runs the organization called Skywatch, or Geoengineering Watch, I think it is. And he has like a plethora. The only people who would go to his website, read everything, and be like, no, are if it was just too uncomfortable for you to realize, then you would just shut it out of your head. You'd take the blue pill and you wouldn't think about it. They are spraying us not only with things to change the weather. That is like the first layer of a gigantic onion of reasons why they spray us. Yes, weather modification. As I said at the beginning of the Instagram live, the more they cause adverse weather events, the more they're able to condition all of us that, like, the weather's not acting right. It really is the climate changing. It's a psyop. They're changing the climate. And then they're going to, because by the way, shut the front door for a second. You do know that there is in Monsanto's genetically modified corn, they are patented to be sunlight deprivation resistant. Why would a company spend all kinds of money patenting their product to have a technology in it that makes it do better in dimmed sun? Who grows? I mean, I guess you could say if you were like in an area that's cloudy, but we're talking about the genetically modified corn that's grown all over the US where it's very sunny. Secondly, patented to be aluminum resistant. GMO corn is patented, has a technology in it to be resistant to toxic aluminum, which is one of the main ingredients in what they spray us with, what they're spraying out of these planes. Aluminum is right up there. So we have something that seems a little fishy going on with the GMOs. Then we have people talking about how there is a treaty on the Government of Canada's website that literally is a treaty for weather modification between the United States and Canada. So like a plane that's spraying above the US can cross over our virtual border in the sky and spray Canada too. So there's treaties if they're wanting to modify the weather. And furthermore, we all know that if you're in Europe, you can pay $100,000 to get a rain-free wedding day, guaranteed rain-free wedding day. And they have publicly announced that they're dimming the sun to fight global warming in Europe, where it's already cloudy as hell in the UK all the freaking time. So yes, they are up to no good. Now, what we saw happen in Oregon the other day, or Washington, and what we saw in Texas, when you look at the weather radar, you can literally see the trails picked up on the screen. And remember, some of these weather men are on TV, and the one guy he said, you see this right here on the map. This is actually, it's like chaff. It's barium and aluminum. It's military. They do spray stuff. But enough about that. blah, blah, blah. And then he goes on. You can watch that clip. Like, people do know this. It's not just some random guy with a cat and a TV with fire on it and a fucking hat on. Like, people know this, okay? And so what happened though in Texas was that cloud sat above the same spot on the ground for 22 hours straight and dumped the equivalent of like um, Niagara Falls amount of water in 22 hours. Like there was someone did the calculations, like it was an insane amount of water that is like statistically impossible. You'd never bet in a million years that that much water would fall in that short of an amount of time. It was a complete record breaking thing. Now, my question is, you may be thinking, but why would they do these things nefariously? I already know some people go, if they can make it rain, then why is like California in a drought or was in a drought for 8 years? Um, because California is the breadbasket of the United States. I mean, that's where all the food grows. They want to disrupt things. And that's naively thinking that they would use these technologies for the betterment, when what have they really used too much to better us? It's funny because you could get that thing in 2020 that was free in your arm injected, but insulin isn't free. But it's about saving lives. But insulin saves lives, but it's not free. An IV costs $800, but it actually costs 10 cents to make. Like, hello. So, anyways, I want to talk to you more about that. But something that is shocking that I found out is that in all or somewhat in the realm of, and I want to talk to Shadow of Oz, by the way. Um, Ask me the question again, Shadow, because I wanted to answer that. In every single apparently pharmaceutical product, there is chromium, and chromium is a highly tunable atom. So yes, they are spraying us with crazy stuff, and apparently, literally provenly, they are also using frequencies from cell towers, Wi-Fi, and smart meters to alter our vibrational frequency. It's mass covert mind control. And I know that's like, how do you say that with a straight face? Well, we can do like a 10-hour stream. I'll summarize it. But things are going on with our wireless devices as well. And I don't know if that's too far of a stretch for some of you guys to think about, but I'm telling you, it's sci-fi level shit that we're experiencing. So I wanted to say it's very important while we're finding all this out that you don't be disempowered, you don't be flustered and think we're screwed, because I wouldn't be on this live if I thought we were screwed. I'd be doing something totally different if I thought we were screwed. No, we're in the most pivotal moment in human history, and we are either going to, I believe we are 100% going to win. And the alternative is to accept defeat before we've even been defeated, which makes no sense. And you should never do that. So we will win. Don't worry. But we should be detoxing. We should be boosting our systems. We should know about Michelle Obama and McGraw-Hill textbooks, but are we full of heavy metals? Is our pineal glands calcified? You want to get these parts of your body that was designed, that was not, evolved. You were created 100%. There is a God. Yes, one of them. And your body's supposed to work in certain ways. But if you're full of microplastics, heavy metals, and pesticides, this is part of the plan to alter us. So I think that's one of the main focuses on my page, which is why since 2019, the only product or service that I've ever promoted since 2019 has been the superfoods from Chalk. We got Nova, who's fasting with the Chad mode right now. This is an all natural pre-workout and energy drink. Chalk is doing something insane for Boxing Day, by the way. Free Chalk and a huge discount. You're getting a $100 bag of the chocolate powder. I'll tell you about it in a second. But the Chad mode, it's organic blue spirulina, which is one of the most powerful binders and detoxifiers in the natural world. It has organic caffeine in it, which is cold water extracted from green coffee beans. So most caffeinated beverages, it's synthetic caffeine. It's totally toxic. Ours is cold water extracted from green coffee beans. This is the best pre-workout energy drink in the whole freaking world, hands down. And we're giving away free bags of lit tonight. We have 3 bags left to give away. This is organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, which is, there's a bunch of superfoods in here, namely being the cacao, which has been proven to stimulate the production of bliss chemicals, which is tryptophan, dopamine, and serotonin. It's super good for your brain. It also supports healthy blood oxygenation and blood flow. Cacao is known, and it's something to do with nitric oxide as well. Like, it's freaking good stuff for you. This is why David Wolf won't shut up about cacao, and everyone who knows about cacao, when you do a deep dive on it, it's like something you do want to be having every day. Like, it's freaking amazing. So free $100 bags, organic certified heirloom cacao, which is also heavy metal tested, free in people's orders today. The way the deal works, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Make sure you click this ASAP so you get bumped first in line. This is a better deal than Black Friday, to be honest. So I put the link in the chat. Make sure you click that ASAP. The #1 supplement at chalk.com for men and women. is the hot water purified shilajit. Shilajit is an herbo-mineral compound that comes from the Himalayan mountains and a few other places, actually. And what you have with shilajit is ours, 12 clinical studies. It's a hormone optimizer. It's a fertility booster. It stimulates the production of new brain cells. It's called neurogenesis. When guys take it, it boosts testosterone. When girls take it, it optimizes your endocrine system. It is an amazing compound to have on hand for detoxification. It's believed to decalcify your pineal gland, like I said. It's super good for your brain, and it boosts memory, concentration, and focus. So it is freaking shocking. Now, if you are one of the first 3 people to get a male or female vitality stack, and you apply the discount code 60life, you get a 60% off lifetime discount on that subscription, which you can cancel or modify at any time. And automatically, you're getting the free $100 bag of the chocolate powder. And that's right, Chris said, not to mention the bioflavonoids in the maple sugar. It's such a fire combo. Shout out to Chris, man. Organic maple sugar crystals are what sweeten this thing, not corn syrup and all this crazy stuff. It's freaking shocking. You'll love it. So male or female stack, you get the 60% off lifetime discount with that code. Make sure the code works, and then you're getting the free lit. I do also recommend checking out the performance stack because that's how you get the Chad mode. And in the performance stack, you have the Chad mode, you have the Tomcat, which, do you know, like, we know about Nike, we know about logos. Do we know about, and I still want to hear Shadow's question that he asked. Do you know that Tomcat Ali, if you did a deep dive on it, you would be shocked. It boosts free testosterone 87% in 21 days. It increases sperm count and sperm motility. Ours is 100-to-1 extract. It has 23 clinical studies. So it's like clinically validated. Like if you are taking this, you will receive many benefits. It's just freaking awesome. Dude, it's great that they haven't banned all this stuff yet. Tomcat is set to be banned fully in Europe. Europe just banned, the European Union just banned turkey tail and lion's mane, which are just natural mushrooms that are non-psychoactive, that are super good for you. So that's great, eh? They obviously want you to be healthy when they're doing that. But anyway, so Tomcat is in the performance stack. It's also in the male stack. It's freaking amazing. Many, many benefits. And then in the female stack, you have the shilajit. You have the organic ashwagandha, which massively boosts melatonin production, and it supports healthy, optimal cortisol levels. I can't say it lowers cortisol, but it's really good for your hormones. And it's pro-fertile. So when it boosts your melatonin, it does it in conjunction with your circadian rhythm. It doesn't indiscriminately boost melatonin, which makes you sleepy. It's like in conjunction with your circadian rhythm, you get way better sleeps while you're taking this, which I would probably say, like, is that crazy to think that that would extend your lifespan because you're sleeping better? I mean, I do wonder. Shout out to JD, who said that mail stack has been doing me great, guys. Shout out to JD. He just got it on only like a little bit ago. You're already noticing a difference, JD. That's freaking awesome. 30% of Chalk's active subscribers report feeling a difference within the first 30 days of taking it, or sorry, within the first few days of taking it. Another 30% is within the first few weeks. But the main thing is that as long as you're getting it into you consistently, you are going to be experiencing the full range of benefits. It's clinically studied. It's not like it works for some people, some others not. No, like it's clinically studied, man. 1 cap a tab. Yes, that's right, Kenko. It's 1 capsule per day of the ashwagandha. It's 2 capsules of the chalk daily. That's in the male stack. It's 3 capsules is the daily dose if you're taking the Irish moss, which is wild crafted from Nova Scotia, which is in the female stack. So it depends which one we're at. The Chad mode, the recommended dose is a scoop. I usually do 2 scoops. I do say, like, try the Chad mode, man. Stocking stuffers, we're too late for that. New year, new you. Detox the phthalates, man. I've talked to people, and I felt this myself too. When you actually detox, like hardcore, and it's also, I say hardcore, but really it's like a gentle detox because you're not like sitting on the couch, like not feeling well as you're detoxing. When you're taking something like the blue spirulina, and that's grabbing onto metals you never even knew were in you, that we've been inhaling and exposed to for years, you do feel very different. Like things are clearer. Your brain and your eyeballs and everything is clearer. In fact, I have the video still. Chad mode whitened my eyeballs up fucking 100%. I started taking Chad mode consistently every single day. Not that, don't think like you need to take it every single day, but this is what happened to me. taking chat mode every single day. And like 60 days later, I'm looking at stories that I took and I'm looking at my eyes. Or no, I was filming a video being like, dude, how white are the whites of my eyes? Like, and then I realized, yeah, it's been like 60 days that I've been taking chat mode every single day. It's freaking awesome. So the reason it does that, this was my question. Let me know what you guys think. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Did the Chad mode whiten my eyeballs because blue spirulina is so detoxifying and blue spirulina is so good for your eyes? Like there's compounds in it that are good for vision. Or because our eyeballs are a holographic representation of our entire body, did you like, you know how different parts of your eye like correspond to different organs and stuff? That's called iridology. Did the whites of my eyes get whiter because it detoxed my body and then that was reflected in my eyes, the whites of my eyes being whiter? I don't know, but it's freaking good. That's all I can say. I gave people chat mode to get off energy drinks. That's hilarious, Nova. I mean, that's beautiful. In fact, that's divine. That's freaking awesome. Yeah, people are still drinking energy drinks. They're multi-billion-dollar a year industries, man. And Monster, I told you guys, the wife of Bang Energy texted me. Um, the wife of Bang Energy texted me, and I know you're thinking, wait, what? Yeah. And there she's saying that something is seriously wrong with Monster Energy and that they are like satanically evil. She wouldn't be the first one to say that either. Um, Shout out to Joanne. If Joanne's watching, shout out to Joanne. She just sent me something. But yeah, so detox, man. So first three people, male or female stack. Apparently, a bunch of people are on the site right now. So if you're on the site, make sure you put that discount code 60life on. Do not pay full price when we're doing this deal. Chalk.com 60life. And if you're one of the first three people to get a male or female stack, you're getting a $100 bag of the chocolate powder included in your order. Will Monster owns Bang Energy now? Monster sued Bang Energy for sued Bang Energy because they made a claim about super what's that one thing people take, like whey or something? Anyway, they used a marketing term that Monster sued them over and then took over their company. That's partly what the girl was texting me, the wife of Bang Energy said, that they took him down. But they apparently did use B12, not the synthetic stuff, which is shocking. Um, Mind you, I still don't like that it's in a can, but like I do like them because they're chill. But canned, it's not really a can; it's actually a plastic bag. And oh, you know, okay, well, um, plastic. I mean, half the shit that goes in a can is sometimes warm or even hot when it's being jarred or canned, you know, and that's reacting with the plastics. Um, and ending up, and then they found that even glass bottles, like this is why you really need to detox. Glass bottles, the lid, the cap, you know how it's like a bit of rubber on there? Apparently that microplastics the shit out of the can, out of the freaking bottle. A glass bottle has a shitload of plastic in it too, just because of the thing on top. Now you may be thinking, dude, you or she, we're tough, like we're humans, we can take on things, and like I totally agree, but you know, it gets to a point where if every single angle, like the average person wakes up with their Wi-Fi being on all night, their phone is next to their bed, so that was frying them as well. They brush their teeth with fluoride, shower in fluoride, and absorb all that. They use toilet paper that is bleached and has PFOAs on it. Then they use mouthwash, which destroys your nitric oxide production and wrecks your mouth microbiome. I'm just getting started. Then they go put on plastic clothes and inhale microplastics as they're putting the clothes on. Like you maybe, and we're going to talk about flooding. Sorry, but this is kind of like we do need to think, take a step back here and be like, this is actually going on. I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy here, but like we are in a funny position where we have been exposed to a lot. Plastic clothes. And then, you know, you get in a car. When your phone is not on airplane mode in a car, apparently the frequencies are bouncing off the inside of the metal box you're in, and it amplifies the frequencies apparently. So it's quite unfortunate. Just try, you know, if you're not waiting on a call and you're not texting and driving, which you shouldn't do, it should be on airplane mode in a car. To be honest, I sometimes don't. but it's a fine practice to have. I would say Wi-Fi off at night is a bigger deal than that, though. And then, you get to work and you're in you're underneath the artificial lights that fries your system, man. And then what are you drinking out of at work? A paper cup that's actually coated in plastic. So, and I know some of you guys know all this, but I'm sure someone on here is like, wow, actually, I didn't know this, that, or the other. And it should be empowering. You should feel empowered to learn things that we didn't know previously, rather than some who feel flustered or they're like offended. Like I remember I was getting in an argument with a teacher. See, teachers are the worst because no, I'm just kidding. But teachers do think they kind of know it all, but some teachers are dear souls. Like some of you guys might be a teacher and you're probably freaking great. But some teachers who are sheep are like extra sheepy because they're a teacher, they think they know it all. So he's trying to argue with me about how all salt is the same. Uh, because it's NaCl, like its chemical formula is NaCl. Um, no, there's a big difference between iodized table salt and like pink salt. Anyway, but you got to be open minded enough that your brain doesn't fall out, but also that you can learn new things. Yo, shout out to Joe Morgan, who I know, or sorry, I'm just going to say Joe so that you don't need to comment Joe if you don't want. But shout out to Joe, who just got a double order of the freaking chocolate powder. Joe just got 2 chocolates in his cart. He put the discount code 60 life on. The guy's freaking crazy. He's getting 2 bags of lit and on an amazing discount. Shout out to Joe, man. 60% off for life. That is a bit of a shocking one, Joe. So congratulations to Joe. That means I guess we have what do we got? Let me see. 2 bags of lit left to give away if he claimed one. If you guys are on the fence, go to chalk.com quick and check around because there's a lot of good articles on there too. Even if for some reason you don't like superfoods, there's a lot of amazing articles at Chalk. And look around because there's guaranteed something you're going to like. I love the Chad mode. I love the chocolate powder. You can get both tonight. If you get a performance stack, you're getting this for free. This is seriously, we're talking detox, man. Shout out to Human Being. I hear saunas. Um, I know Copper. I knew that, but I was gonna not. But you're good, man. Um, but congratulations and thank you, Copper. Um, Human Being said, I hear saunas are actually the best way to detox. Dude, saunas are amazing. I wouldn't say the best way, like they're definitely up there. Don't you detox a bunch too when you're in a ice bath? Like there's all different benefits to different things. But yeah, saunas are definitely could be in your repertoire. And in fact, like my friend built one and it's like minus 30 out. He's sitting in a sauna, cranked up the heat, running and outside, rolling the snow, come back in. Like we're talking therapy, man. So I do love saunas. I haven't sauned in a while though, because I don't like public places are just like I'm just gonna get my own sauna or go to my buddy's house. But anyways, no, saunas are a good human being, but the way I figure it, like I'm trying to hit every angle, right? So if I find out, oh, you can get all these benefits from Shilajit. You can get all these benefits from fasting. You can get all these benefits from drinking spring water, yada, yada. Then I'm thinking, let me implement all of those now. That's how I think. But yes, you could quote unquote plateau, for lack of a better word, at just doing saunas. And like, that's still really good. But I just think we're hit from so many angles that I'd like to try to throw the whole kitchen sink in. Andrew said, what's the best salt to put in your water when you drink it? Dude, I just found out that there's a salt called Arctic salt, and it comes from the Arctic. I imagine that's pretty clean. You also got Redmond salt, which is actually, let me double check to see if we get. Yeah, dude, Redmond real salt is in the chocolate. There's a pinch of salt in the chocolate powder, which brings all the flavors together. It is freaking amazing, dude. If we could just have a moment. Thank you, Cacao. It is freaking delicious. And thank you, God. Above all else, who the hell made cacao? God himself, man. You think that evolved? Like, I'm sorry if someone thinks cacao evolved. I could sell you a bridge. I could sell you sand if you were in the Middle East. Like, if you believe that it evolved, I do love you, but you got it a little bit wrong, man. Um, French salt, for sure. Human being said, yeah, there's many ways. I was just wondering if you've heard about that being a legit way to. Oh yeah, for sure. Human being. Apparently, saunas are like a bit of a microplastic detox too, or it boosts your liver function or something. There was something to that for sure, man. Nova said all energy drinks are ass compared to Chad mode. I tested to see they dehydrate the F out of you. Wow, Nova. I'm glad that you're experiencing the benefits of the Chad mode and enjoying it. And I will say that I have to agree. And I wasn't even that big into energy drinks and pre-workouts before, but there is something about like I am now a fan of the Chad mode big time. And I never did energy drinks or pre-workouts before. But the fact that you can be energizing yourself hardcore with 150 milligrams organic caffeine, cold water extracted from green coffee beans per scoop, and be detoxing at the same time, like that blue spirulina is kind of going viral on Twitter because it's the best binder in the world, basically. Congratulations to Jennifer. Jennifer just got a female stack. Holy crappers. Jennifer, congratulations, Jen, if you're listening right now. She just got a female stack. Congratulations. Shadow, I want to make sure I answer your question too, so ask it again. I know I've told you that like 3 times. I might have missed it, but you asked me a good question. I'm trying to remember what it was. But shout out to Jennifer, who just got her female stack, which means she's getting the $100 bag of chocolate powder included in her order. And by the way, the freebie is freaking awesome. We literally have 2 left to give away now. 2 more bags of lit. If you get a male or female stack, make sure you use the code 60life to unlock the lifetime discount. Um, so here's the thing. The freebie is awesome, but keep in mind, what we're really doing here is Chalk's activated this discount better than Black Friday. The nice little cherry on top is this delicious cacao that you will love. But what you're really doing is you're like voting, subscribing to a combo, a stack, a male or female stack, or a performance stack. And ideally, it's taken consistently. And I know, sometimes my dad is bad for this. Like he'll take it once or twice, forget, blah, blah, blah. The benefits are clinically studied based on consistent consumption. So you do want to get a consistent dose to experience the full range of benefits rather than take it here or there or take it for a month and then cancel. Of course, you can cancel or modify at any time. But again, look at the benefits. 30, 60, 90 days, benefits are compounding and rolling, man. And there's so many mineral or salts out there too. Like I couldn't even tell you, like there's some like Nova Scotian stuff we get, which is probably coming out of the same little part of that ocean that the Irish moss grows in, which is in the female stack. So that's what I wanted to say. Jennifer, congratulations on your female stack because you're getting the Shilajit is in there, the wild crafted Irish moss. Just so you know, it is actually kind of crazy because Irish moss, the vast majority of it is farmed in the Caribbean and it's full of microplastics. Whereas the Irish moss that we have is from Nova Scotia. It's wild. It's not farmed. It's pretty freaking cool, man. Basecamp said, you turned us on to ashwagandha and it has transformed our sleep. Dude, shout out to Basecamp. Basecamp, who, when you say us, is this like your whole fam jam, man? Because that is freaking awesome if that's the case. I could willy-nilly you guys around, but I would never do that. He who steals, steals from himself. I'll tell you a story about theft in a second. You'll literally be mind blown. But um, yeah, the ashwagandha, it's clinically studied. You will love it. You absolutely will love it. Anyone who hasn't tried it, but Basecamp is feeling it already. So, dude, I know, let's just say like a friend of mine went to this tool store. Did I tell you guys the story already? Let me know if I did. I don't want to be that uncle who always has like the same story. But he basically went to this tool store to buy some tools, major store. And when he's getting his tool belt, it's like you buy a pack, like you buy the hammer loop, you buy the bag, you buy the thing. Yo, shout out to Swing, man. Swing, are you on here? Um, and you buy all these different parts, you customize, you build your belt. Well, when they were checking it out at the cashier, she didn't scan the belt. Well, the belt was like $300. And and I don't know why, but this friend was like, "Oh, dope. Like, I'll just get this belt for free." Totally dishonest. Totally against God's will. Like, do not steal. What was it that I typed in spiritual ramifications? Steals this belt, basically. Because he knew. It's not like he got home and was like, "Oh, I forgot." Like, as he's standing there, he had the opportunity to be like, "No, no, you didn't scan the belt." Instead, he wanted it for free. Mind you, I guarantee had he said no, you got to scan the belt, he would have walked outside and tripped over $100 bill or something. That's the way it would have worked. Anyway, so he steals his belt. Well, he's telling me a few days ago, that his back is absolutely killing him because the belt is like hurting his hips and he's like gotten to go to the chiropractor and blah blah blah. I said, dude, the belt you stole? He goes, yeah. I'm like, and it's now hurting you? He's like, oh fuck, like I didn't think of that. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, it may not be that you need the suspender belt. It may be the energetic karma that you stole this belt and now it's coming back to hurt or haunt you. So then I typed in, he's like, okay, fuck, well, what do I do now? I'm like, well, dude. So I did some research. How to spiritually negate uh, if you have stolen something is A, return it. If you can't do that, uh, donate to a relevant charity, um, or something like that. Like there's a way to do it where if you can't, if it's impossible to return it, then there's another way to around it. But anyway, that was a conversation that we had, and it's interesting. So he who steals steals from himself. But my point is that I could willy nilly you guys, but I never would. Of course, when I'm telling you clinically studied, yada yada yada, like I'm serious, man. It is absolutely shocking. We're talking about superfoods. So shout out to Jennifer, shout out to Joe, and anyone else on the fence. If you're on the site right now, make sure you put that discount code 60life on. Do not pay full pop when that big of a discount is going on. Vancouver Island sea salt is good too. That's awesome, Frankie, because I would just make sure, I guess, because apparently Vancouver Island, I should know, what is that city on the island again? Um, Apparently they got kind of exposed, so to speak, Victoria. Apparently Victoria, like what part? I mean, there's so much of that island. What a beautiful island, man. I'd want to get salt from like the thing you got to look out for, or that I would look out for if I was in BC and I was near the water and everything, is I wouldn't want to be necessarily eating fish that are downstream from a fish farm because those are toxic as hell. Super polluting. I mean, you'll be fine probably, but I'm just saying, like, if you were trying to be a purist, you wouldn't want to be eating or consuming things that are near a fish farm. Um, and then also, you don't want to be downstream from Victoria because they just pipe raw sewage out into the ocean. So you wouldn't want to be downstream from that. Um, Things I think about. Canco said, "How long is 60 Life active for, dude? This is like an ultra limited. What day is it? I keep forgetting the name. Boxing Day special. We never do 60 Life, dude. For the longest time, we're doing 26 Life. So I don't know how long they're running it for. I heard it was for. I got to put a sticky note. Boxing Day. I heard it was for Boxing Day, but regardless, you do get the free lit. We still have two more bags of the lit powder left to give in people's orders as well. Shadow, dude, I appreciate that, man, but it actually helps me and the whole lights on the stream and everything if you DM me for a discount code. If if you can't today, DM me for, and then I'll give you whatever the best discount code that we have going on at the time. But otherwise, the 60 life thing for Canco is according to Chalk because they are listening and they just text me saying it's today only. So it's today only. Boom, bang, bang, 60% off, and that free lit powder. Um, which what's funny? If you take 60 like so Jennifer just got the female stack. You boil that bad boy down, and that's less than $2. It's like a buck something per day to be taking the full blown female stack. And by the way, I didn't even mention this, but it is probably important. Like there's a million supplement companies, most of them are fake. Chalk does have the highest, it is the top rated supplement company on Trustpilot with over 5,000 third party verified 5-star reviews. So I know that I usually look at reviews before I buy anything. Just so you know, there's 5,000 of them. Now I'm going to announce that we're live quickly on Instagram again. Shout out to, yeah, I'm going to save this post. Hold on, did I post that one? Yo, did I show you guys? I told you guys, by the way, that this book I have, Victor Schauberger, he says that more energy is encapsulated in every drop of good spring water than an average sized power station is presently able to produce. Victor Schauberger said that there's more energy in a drop of spring water than an entire power generating station. How do you access that? We will talk about it. That's freaking awesome, Will. Shout out to Will. Um, Contends my orders. Well, Copper, you know what you could do? You don't even need to really sit down with them. You can probably send a single email or text and be like, can we combine? Or, but you'd have to look at what active subs you have going and everything. But like, be like, can we combine it? That wouldn't be too, don't, that would be it should be easy, man. Kenko said, um, okay, hold on. A bunch of people are on the site right now, by the way, with stuff flying in their carts. So make sure you put that code on. Kenko said, bummer, compound fractured my arm a few weeks before Christmas. So that unfortunate me won't be able to. Oh, true. Okay, Kenko. You know what I would do? So, dude, have you ever overbalanced your PayPal? You know that you basically have a credit card with PayPal. You can spend thousands. No, I'm just kidding. One time PayPal fucked up and I withdrew like $400, but then there was some glitch and it was there the next day. So I withdrew it again and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, free money. And then, and then like a week later, I go to my PayPal, it's minus $400. I'm like, oh, fuck. But I wasn't cheap enough to like close the account and make a new one or anything. But they did actually accidentally give me an extra $400, so that was nice. Um, yeah, so that was the question, Shadow. 2 seconds. So Mrs. Liu, um, honestly, I do like discussing that, Lou. But I'm gonna save it. Like I do have some videos on it. But yeah, and I do like talking about it, but I have a couple other things I need to get through tonight about these floods and stuff. The flat earth thing is a huge rabbit hole, but I do want to tell him about it. Um, I mean, I definitely do not think it's a ball, man. I've actually got my mind completely blown the last like 6 months. The shape of the earth, the age of the earth, where we really came from. Like I'm on cloud nine with the shit I found out, man. Like we are being duped more than I even fathomed when I found out they're spraying us with heavy metals and altering our DNA, which was shocking enough. So Shadow said, yeah, so what are we doing to work together, banding together to fight back and overcome these issues? So Shadow, um, talking about it is the biggest first thing, because if it's not even in people's consciousness, then nothing's going to happen. So while people say, like, they'll be like, oh, not many, but some people say, all you're doing is talking about it. Like, why don't you do something about it? Well, talking is doing. Talking, when you talk, do you realize that when you talk, you're creating a vibrational frequency from your voice box, which energy knows no distance. So it's like reverberating into the cosmos. Cosmos makes me think about space. It's reverberating our whole realm here. So talking is very powerful. And what are millions of people? First thing, one person is like whack-a-mole. It's all if all the moles stand up at the same time. It's if all the ants stand up at the same time, or many of them. So the suggestion that or the notion that just talking is like not enough. It's the biggest first thing you can do. Nothing ever got done without first discussing it, man. So I can't tell you like because otherwise, what imagine the Shadow if I said like, okay, we're gonna meet up, bring bring some stuff. We're gonna meet up. We're gonna do like that's just not the way. The way is just discuss, share awareness, consciousness, vibration. Because the more people that know things about what's going on, like if you could go back, or let's say from this point now, let's say you're on a journey, like you're on an awakening right now. The more you accumulate information, knowledge, and wisdom, your vibrational frequency does increase 100%. The higher the frequency, my understanding is it's like this. If you have a super high frequency, you're going to attract high frequency situations, opportunities, and circumstances in your life. Globally, globally, flat earthly, if enough people have high vibrations, then collectively we would manifest and actualize a higher vibrational frequency for the earth, which would attract higher frequency situations and opportunities. Like there's no way bombings and shit can happen in a high vibrational, truly high vibrational world. Like that is evidence of there's some low vibrations out there. Um, you know what I mean? So it's to answer your question, dude, it's this right now. It's you talking to your coworker, it's you talking to your not preaching to them, although sometimes that does work, but usually more just living. You know what it is? You got to change yourself. You be on your journey, reading, researching, learning. Be the best version of yourself. That is what changes the world. If you want to change the world, you got to change yourself. That's what they say. Okay, hold on a second. Lydia just ordered. Lydia, did you get a stack and a Chad mode? Someone just got a stack and a Chad mode with the 60% off lifetime discount, which is insane. And I'm pretty sure it was Lydia. So congratulations to Lydia, who this is their, I think maybe her first live. Welcome, Libya. Lydia, Libya. I'm thinking about Libya because I've made a few posts on Libya the last few days. But congratulations, Lydia. So she got a female stack, which has Shilajit, ashwagandha, and Irish moss. So Lydia, just so you know, you're getting the full matrix of minerals from the Shilajit and the moss, and those minerals ignite every single biological process in your body. Every single biological process in the body requires a mineral to activate it. And today, even if you're eating 100% organically, you're getting less than 10% of the full matrix of minerals. So now you're getting the full matrix, Lydia, which also happens to, that's right, strong as, exactly. Um, every single vitamin requires a mineral to activate it. When you're getting the full matrix of minerals from the Irish moss and the shilajit, you actually are absorbing more nutrients from the food you're already eating. So Lydia, you're going to be thrilled. And then of course you got the Chad mode, the cherry on top Chad mode, and of course the free lit. So congratulations to Lydia on your lovely free lit and your amazing freaking stack and order and everything. So she got a Chad mode and a stack, guys. That means I guess we literally have one more free lit left to give away. If you're on the fence, I highly vibrationally suggest check out the site. You don't, I mean, you don't have to get a stack. We'll throw something in. If you can only get, you know, a Shilajit or a Chad mode or something, we'll get you a freebie. But for the $100 bag of lit, you get a stack. You're getting 60% off with that discount code 60life, and then boom, bang, bang. I think Lydia made the great choice by getting a stack and a Chad mode, because you don't want to go to Chalk and not get a Chad mode. It's just too freaking good. Let me announce that we are live on Instagram real quick. Hold on a sec. So Lydia, by the way, that should be to you in, if you're in the States, 2 to 5 business days, usually closer to 2. And whatchamacallit, you can text, email, call, fax. You can talk to Chalk 55 different ways. You could also just DM me as well. So hold on. What's the other latest breaking news? This shocking weather. I am wanting to call it like weather warfare, but I don't want to trip any algorithm on Instagram by saying that. But it is weather warfare 100%. Is anyone other than Danny, like Danny, tell me about this rain? Like, is anyone in California flooded out right now? Like, let me know. I can only imagine fucking waking up Christmas morning, your house is under a pile of mud. Have you seen that? In Redding, or no, San Bernardino County. Under mud slides, dude. And you know what they do? Hold on. Yeah, shocking news. You know what they do? They did it after the fires in California too. Who said California was the root of the United States, by the way? Someone said that. I went to talk about that. But the insurance companies like stop insuring or increase rates. It's to try to get people to all move to cities because they like can't live out of the city apparently. To, you know, smart cities, 15-minute cities and everything. You know, it's funny seeing people like sell the idea of 15-minute cities. They're like, no, it'll be so convenient. I'm like, is your pineal gland active at all? Are you thinking? Do you know what, like? And then the creepiest thing was hearing, I think it was Peter Thiel, which is a anagram for the reptile. He literally said, you know, what are we going to do if ChatGPT 7 can make better decisions than our president? the plan is to govern us with AI. So he's not like just had this fleeting thought. It's like, yeah, the plan is to us be governed by AI. So they're obviously conditioning it now. What's going on, everyone? Gus, shout out to Gus, man. I don't do that. Yes, it's snowing out the yin yang here, Liam. Shout out to Hadley Trainer, dude. Who am I? I'm a cog in a wheel that you don't understand. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. Shane Vibes here. Okay, so listen, we have to be discussing what's going on right now in freaking California because that's right. Unstoppable said AI can be hijacked by demons. Dude, I'm pretty sure the inception, like the very root of AI, is like a virus from another realm anyway. It's just shocking. But anyways, so we're talking about the plan for California, and it's also the plan for most places. And we also have insane weather in the middle of the United States with a heat wave that is common for July nights, and instead it is the middle of winter. So it's just shocking. Nazarene. What is that, Ben? I've never even heard of that. So anyways, we are live right now discussing things that we cannot on Instagram. We're doing it on Rumble. So right now there's 70 people on Rumble, and it's free speech over there. I don't need to bite my tongue. I can discuss completely freely. And if you're into hearing what's going on to a deeper degree, more than just a quick little dopamine hit of a 90-second reel, come over to Rumble, man. We're hanging out. You guys are smart. Benjamin, I mean, what come to Rumble. We'll talk about it, dude. I actually appreciate your mentioning of that. I'm stoked about it though, dude. I'll tell you all about it. AI can be beautiful and it can be evil. Yeah, I agree with that. Maui aloha seashells, and I do love Hawaii, but it's the plan is to use it to enslave us. So as many pros as AI can have, it also can be used to enslave us. So the Rumble is at the link in my bio. If you click the link in my bio, it's a link tree, and right under you'll see my live stream channel. So you can click that, or alternatively, you can go comment the word Rumble on any one of my posts on Instagram, and you'll immediately get a link to my Rumble channel. And then when you click that, you can see the stream that we're on right now. I do recommend quickly making an account on Rumble. That way you can talk to me on there. Otherwise, if you're just watching, it's like YouTube. If you don't have an account, you can't comment. And that way you can also turn on live notifications. Sam said he had a great question. He said, realistically, how do we stop AI? Dude, we're kind of talking about that right now on Rumble. So come on over to Rumble, dude. We'll discuss this whole thing. I want to keep the live short on Instagram because I got in trouble on here before. So, okay, we'll see you guys on Rumble. Much love, and I hope to discuss further. All right. Hope. Why did I say hope? Yeah, that's right. Strong. That's called, what is it? Confirmation bias too. Like if you believe something to be a certain way, you're going to look at facts and like form fit it into thinking that it is fact. That's right, dude. I know that happens too. It's very strange. Um, the line. Oh yeah, dude, Stardust. That is freaking whack. You guys heard of the line? It's like whoever would live there would have to be so utterly disconnected. This line, they're building a weird ass city in Saudi Arabia that is like basically one gigantic building, and it goes on for like miles and miles, and everything's that you would ever need is in it. So like grocery store, blah blah, every amenity you can think of is in this giant building that is called the line, and it is the most dystopian AI computery lifeless soulless thing I've ever seen, and somehow people are all hyped up about it. um Dude, I'm trying to get outside more. You want me to live in an open air prison in the middle of the desert? You'd have to be absolutely nuts. Like I would honestly say I would have very very little in common with anyone who'd want to live there. And I don't mean that judgingly, like all, go for it. But like, I think we need to be kind of more returning to the land and growing things and raising animals rather than living in a giant city block in the middle of the desert. The line is whack. But anyways, and you can imagine what I think about how they would run that too. It would all be probably facial recognition. So welcome everyone to the live. What were we just talking about? The flooding in California is absolutely shocking. And listen, there was a girl, just so you know, her name was Deborah Tavares. I know this, and I don't even live in California. I wish everyone to know this woman's name. She came out in 2016 and was posting videos. She did something to do with land. So she was something to do with land and zoning, and she worked for like the city or something, or the county. And she became aware of all these crazy new laws and regulations in regards to what you can and can't do on your own property. So she started researching, and she basically found out about Agenda 21 and found out that there's all these plans to put us into smart cities and to control us with AI and all this other shit. But one of her most shocking claims was the plan to use weather warfare and possibly directed energy weapons to burn up Northern California and to then concentrate all those people into dense urban centers and move into cities. And the way they did it was by not letting people rebuild or needing all these extra permits, or your insurance rates would be through the roof because you're in what they'd call like a fire zone. So she said that in 2016, and we've seen the last several years in a row like shocking fires in California. And I don't need to be your own eyeballs for your eyeballs to see that these fires are very strange because they burn the houses and not the trees. It's a bit weird. So if that's true, we have to also consider, because some of her other videos were about all the cell towers they're putting everywhere. And those cell towers, we know that like water doesn't like your Wi-Fi router. If you could molecularly look at water, living water, pure spring water, and put it on a Wi-Fi router, we know that plants don't like germinating. Seeds don't germinate very well on next to a Wi-Fi router. There's a Danish school study that showed that. Tree leaves fall off of a tree that's next to 5G shit. Like it's horrible for us. And they're putting out these towers everywhere. Some people think that it's a frequency assault on humanity and they call it silent weapons for quiet wars. The other reason we know some of that is because when an IBM building sold in like 2010, in one of the printers was a document called the NASA War Document. And in it, it talks about nano dust swarms, weather owning the weather by 2025. That's what it. Type in fucking owning the weather by 2025. This came out in 2010, and the document isn't clear on if it's saying like they're doing this or they have done it or they're going to do it. Like, is it theoretical? But it came out of a printer out of an IBM building, and it's called the NASA War Document, and that's the only reason we know about it. So whether the guy left it in the printer because he wanted to get the word out, or it was an accident, whatever, there's a plan. Part of that plan entails that because this is spiritual warfare. Yes, there's physical elements of it, but it's spiritual warfare because they're attacking us with conditioning and brainwashing in the media. But then also, bro, like stuff at our grocery stores are banned in Europe. Why do they allow such toxic things for us over here? Is it because we're actually a pretty big like linchpin in the global enslavement plan? In other words, the United States, for example, I know the reason that America, they've tried to make them the fattest and the druggedest up. Everyone's on a pharmaceutical. It's an attack. It's one of the only countries that you can have a commercial for a pharmaceutical on TV. I only learned that recently. That's shocking, eh? So there's an assault specifically on the United States. Canada is in there too. Like it's a bit shit here with many things as well, but it's because you're a big thorn in the side of the Illuminati, basically. Is one way to put it. I mean, really. And so, but going back to these weather warfare stuff, yeah, dude, they're spraying us, and we have patents, we have whistleblowers, we have Dane Wigington from Geoengineering Watch, who's blowing the whistle every day, posting articles, posting leaked documents. Yes, there are programs going on this second that they're spraying stuff in the sky that if you dumped the same stuff they're spraying in the sky in your yard, you'd be like fined out the yin yang for polluting and all this stuff, and the EPA would be on you. But instead, they're doing it with impunity because I guess apparently the intelligence agencies are running the whole show up there. But my point is that after seeing this flooding in California and the ones in Texas and what just happened in Washington, and it's 2025, just about to be 2026, like there's some shit coming around the corner. And I want you to know, if you're listening to me say this, that I'm not sitting here thinking like we're screwed. There's no doom and gloom. Like I know that sometimes normies, if you want to call them that, if I tell them some stuff like this, they're like, dude, man, this is like really negative. I don't really think, I think that like this is the information they want hidden from you. So like it's actually very positive to be talking about it. You know what I mean? Even though it's not that fun sometimes. Like, damn, are we really being sprayed with nano robots called smart dust? Like that's not a fun thought. But we need to think about this because if we love our children and the future of this world, then we will talk and think about these things. I mean, come on. I wanted to mention too, because it is Mr. Day After Christmas freaking Boxing Day. You guys have seen me post before about various superfoods and compounds. Chalk is giving away free bags of the chocolate powder tonight. This is the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, which stimulates stem cell production. It's super detoxing. It's freaking delicious. You can eat it by the spoon dry. It's got camu and lucuma extract in here, which are super high in vitamin C. They want to ban those ones too, by the way. The way the deal works is $100 bag, organic heirloom cacao. I just put the link in the chat. Make sure you click the link, go to chalk.com ASAP so you get bumped first in line. Lepis, yes, we are live right now, dude. Shout out to Lepis, or Lepid rather. The way the deal works is this. Number one supplement, the first supplement that Chalk ever made in 2019. Chalk, by the way, is based in the United States. They ship out of Georgia. They're founded in Texas. All American customer service team. Purified shilajit is an herbo-mineral compound from the mountains, the Himalayas. It's got chromoproteins and bioactive compounds, which are extremely detoxifying. It's believed to decalcify the pineal gland. It is extremely potent for hormone optimization and optimizes your endocrine system. We know all the shit we're exposed to, the chemicals, the phthalates, the pesticides, all this stuff wreaks havoc on our endocrine system. We got to be thinking about it. Your hormones are the chemical messengers of your body. They're very important. So Shilajit optimizes those, and it's clinically studied to stimulate the production of new brain cells, which is called neurogenesis. So I'm talking memory, focus, cognition. I'm going to take one right now. Actually, I didn't pick one today yet. So number one supplement at chalk.com is the purified Shilajit. One of the other most popular, most badass supplements or things at Chalk is the Chad mode. Organic blue spirulina, organic caffeine. The blue spirulina is one of the most powerful binders in the natural world. It binds to free radicals, phthalates, heavy metals, microplastics, pesticides, excretes it out of the body. Plus, the caffeine that's in here is cold water extracted from green coffee beans, not synthesized. Most caffeinated beverages are synthetic. They actually grow the caffeine instead of extracting it. So the Chad mode is freaking awesome. The way the deal works is it's first come, first serve. If you go to chalk.com and you're one of the next two people to get a male or female vitality stack, this is for Boxing Day today only, and you add a male or female or a performance stack to your cart, tons of superfoods, clinically studied benefits, I'm going to tell you about it, and you apply that discount code 60life, you get a 60% off lifetime discount. You can cancel or modify your subscription at any time. And automatically, if you're one of the first two people, you're getting the $100 bag of the chocolate powder, the organic heirloom cacao. And the one that's in the male and female stack, one of my favorites, is the organic ashwagandha, which has, what is it, 23 clinical studies or 46, one of the two, ton of clinical studies, will completely revolutionize your sleep quality because it supports melatonin production. It also is a hormone optimizer and it's a fertility booster. So ashwagandha, that's why it's in the male and female stack. It's considered the king of herbs in India. So chalk.com is the website. I just put it in the chat again. Make sure you click it, get bumped first in line. The discount code is 60life. And check, dude, I'll tell you one thing too that is cool. I mentioned before, but there are over 5,000 third-party verified 5-star reviews on Trustpilot for Chalk. So it is one of the most, it is the top-rated supplement company on Trustpilot. They do spray in the dark. Copper Rock, there is something a little bit eerie when it's like the moon's out and you can see chemtrails at night. It's like, dude, really, man? Give it a freaking rest for a second, will you, dude? Yeah, wow, Lou, if you have a good video of that, send it to me on Instagram because chemtrail videos at night, they are a bit eerie, I will say. I'm going to take a dose of the Shilajit and the ashwagandha right now because I know that there's aluminum and barium and all this crazy shit in the sky. And also, how do you tell little ones to not eat snow? Like fresh, clean snow, it looks like. I mean, is there nanobots in there? I fucking hope not, man, but apparently there is. So we just got to keep detoxing. Anyway, Shilajit ashwagandha down the hatch with spring water. I showed you guys the video of me collecting it the other day. It was a hike, man. Almost said signal on versus distorted frequency of your mind. Do burpees in chat mode. Exactly, Nova. Absolutely, Nova. Frankie, it is a little bit insane because I don't know, it didn't take much convincing for me to realize that they're spraying us. Like I literally probably watched like two things, looked at the chemtrails in the sky and said, yeah, I bet they would do that. Where some people are like, no, like show me all the evidence. And now I have the evidence. Like I could point you to 55 different websites with verified, there's whistleblowers, there's RFK talking about it, there's fucking in Europe. This is something for a skeptic. Listen, in the United Kingdom, they announced that they are going to dim the sun to fight climate change, right? That is confirmed. No theory there. What does it look like when they use stratospheric injections of aerosols to dim the sun? What does it look like? Does it look like a plane flying with a trail of white behind it that then dims the sun? Dim sum. Um, if it does look like that, well, then I already see that happen all the time. Planes fly by with white shit out of the sky that blocks the sun out. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot, or they have to disclose it to us, that they're going to start testing dimming the sun, but it looks identical to what they're already doing every day, which we see in the skies every day. So that's just logic. Like that is not, is it a scientific peer-reviewed paper proving that they're spraying us with chemicals? No, that is a logical thing you can look at with your own eyeballs. Like you can't see fluoride, you can't really see GMOs per se, but you can see this conspiracy, dude. So forget about the term conspiracy. They are conspiring though. Caddy said, Shane, do you think microwave emissions are being used to assist the heat wave in the Midwest? At this point, man, and this could be to my detriment in a way, but like if there's anything weird going on in the weather, because I know that I see with my own eyeballs fake clouds and chemtrails quite often, although in lower populated areas sometimes you do see a lot less of them. Um, like it would be illogical or just like not proper to not consider that anything going on in the weather right now is basically modified. So, I mean, 100%. And so you asked a question though in a funny way because someone's thinking, well, that didn't really say, he said microwave emissions, not chemtrails. Well, they work in tandem because they spray the particles of metal, the chaff, the microparticles of metal that are conductive, and then they beam frequencies at it from HARP stations all around the world, and NEXRAD as well. NEXRAD is NEXRED or RAD, and that's another like frequency device that beams billions of watts of energy into the sky, where they can move clouds around, make it rain, make it stop raining, concentrate rain, crazy storms, So, I mean, the alternative is to Caddy's question. Do I think the weather is being modified and that's why it's warm as hell in the Midwest right now when it's supposed to be cold and it just was absolutely freezing? Uh, or do I think that it's like natural? No, definitely not. You know what I mean? Um, that's absolutely right. I'm gonna make a video on that tomorrow. Thank you, Nova. Um, Placentas, it's umbilical cord video. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video about umbilical cords. They are cutting it. Um, way too soon, and that is a whole other scam. Apparently, a bunch of people are on the site right now, by the way. So if you are at chalk.com right now, make sure you get that in your card and you put the discount code 60life on it to unlock the full blown 60% off lifetime discount. Of course, you can cancel or modify your subscription anytime, but if you're one of the next two people to get a male or female or performance stack, you are going to be getting the $100 bag of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia included in your order. Lepid, I am familiar with that. Yes. What makes you ask? So, organic heirloom cacao, highest antioxidant content, some of the highest antioxidant content food in the natural world. Extremely good for your blood and your brain. If you have this on an empty stomach in the morning, by the way, you completely feel like an elation like in your mind when those hormones start getting produced, man. It is, there's something about the lid. You will love it. Um, yeah, morale, copper rock for sure. That's actually moral, but morale is with an E, but that's okay. Yeah, totally, dude. You got to keep. Well, you know what, morale, or you know what, copper. I was thinking the other day, it's like, call this a cop out or something, but is it not in God's hands? Is something out of His hands? I don't think so. So that should be like a relieving thought. Is like, no matter what you're stressed or flustered about, you got to stay positive and know whatever it can or will or might happen is something that is for the betterment of you, not for the torturous detriment. So, whatever challenge or thing that we're ever faced with, if your attitude is it's a part of a plan and I just got to do what I can do best and I'm where I'm meant to be, then there's no, you know, fluster of concern and worry that throws worry out the window. That's a good question, Nova. Oh, listen to this. Listen to this. Lepid, listen to this, dude. Talking to my uncle, and this is a story he told me. Okay. He basically, I'm thinking if I should shout this out on Instagram. No, I'll just keep this to you guys. My uncle was working at a place and he was sleeping in his truck and then he was sleeping inside the building of his work. And eventually they said, you can't really sleep here, but the manager said, you can sleep at my house in my basement. We got a fully furnished basement and you come sleep there until, you have some money or whatever. So he did. And when he started, so he was hanging out with him. And then after like a month or two or whatever, his basically boss says, like, he says that he has been or is being monitored, surveilled, and studied his entire life. And my uncle's like, what? You're full of shit. And he's like, I'm serious. And then, long story short, my uncle ends up talking to his wife. And he goes, what's he talking about? You guys are like, some eerie's going on here? She's like, yeah, it's been going on since I got with him. And now they're apparently also studying our kids. And this is something, the fucked up part about this is if you had kids and then you said, like, we're being studied and surveilled by these other entities, like, that's not something you want to say to anyone because you sound fucking crazy. So you can imagine why he would feel lonely almost. But anyway, so then he goes to work and he's like, his boss had said, ask Mike or whoever at work who also slept at my house if he experienced anything. And so my uncle goes to work and he goes, yeah. He says, what's Buddy talking about? He's being monitored and surveilled and tracked and studied by what creatures or some shit, like aliens basically. And he goes, yeah, dude, there is some weird shit going on in his house and it's not paranormal. So so my uncle didn't believe it until one day in the middle of winter, but he did think about it. But one day in the middle of winter, he wakes up in the morning and he has a full body sunburn in the middle of winter. He was red as if he got a sunburn after going to bed normally. It wasn't an allergic reaction. He also woke up one day in this house with a black eye. Now, of course, he could have been punched in the middle of the night by his boss who drugged him, like, of course. But I'm just telling you the story, okay? And then the weird thing is that he started trying to figure out, like, I guess he didn't get much contact with these like aliens or whatever. So he was trying to research about them. So he had a few books out, and one of the books had pictures of different what people or contactees, you call them, have seen over the years. And one of them that they describe are the Greys, this alien race that's been carved into stone. And I say alien, I'm not saying other planets. I'm not saying that. It could be other creatures of this realm. And his son came over, the young son came over and pointed to the picture of the gray alien in this book and was like, "That's the one I see, Dad. Like that's I've seen him. Like blah blah blah." And he'd never really said to his son, like he didn't program his son with some alien shit and then his son circled back about that. So it's weird. And what I think about that is I do believe that there are people who have been genuinely, totally contacted, abducted, all that shit, by creatures that they all see and saw as like the gray or um, the mantids or the reptilian. You know, there's all these different, but I don't think I know they're not from another planet, and that instead they'd be somewhere on this realm. Um, so that is interesting, eh? This is off topic. But what do you know about Naria Capital? I've never heard of that, dude. Bobby, let me know, man. If we were under a dome, then how did the other entities come in under the firmament and study us? Well, base camp, that's a good question. My understanding is that one of the theories is that this realm we're in actually is a lot bigger than just like the continents we know of Earth. I don't think the ice wall is where the edge of the firmament is. I think there's an ice wall around our known world, but then there's lots of and lots and lots of other uh, places out there. So they could just be coming from that. Because I don't know that apparently at the top of the firmament, it's like a super gel like layer, and then another few miles or something, and then it's the waters. Like some guy left a pretty crazy comment actually, and we'll see what you guys think about it. He said that's the ether, the superfluid realm. That's 73.4 miles up. The firmament is about 300 miles up, and the firmament is a crystalline firmament. It's solid. We also see the stars in the firmament through the ether, the superfluid realm. So that's interesting, eh? Lydia, I think her phone is messing up a bit. Someone answer Lydia to make sure she knows that we are still live. But that's right, Sunny. Like some people think any other kind of alien type thing is a demon. I don't necessarily think that, but some are evil, but some are good apparently. So it makes you wonder, you know. Hold on a sec. Boom, bang, bing. Oh shit! What I just clicked. Hold on. Probably, Sonny. I mean, you've seen some of the videos, like you know what I mean. So, anyways, yeah, the mantids are a weird one too. They're like a picture, like a giant praying mantis, but it's like a body, like a you know. There's, if you go down the rabbit hole, like there is a number of from all over the world where people have experienced similar things and not been in contact with each other. And you also obviously have the movie that's based on the true story, Fire in the Sky. So it's freaking weird, man. It's weird to us, I guess, but to, you know, someone who's been in the know for a long time, it's like totally normal. But and then you have guys like Simon Parks. Dude, Simon Parks has a pretty crazy story, man. He was a city, like a councilman for a town in England, and he came out publicly and said some pretty crazy shit that happened to him with a race of aliens. But it's just it's a bit far out. I don't really do too. I mean, some of the alien stuff, yeah, I'll be talking about because it's shocking. Also, Project Bluebeam, but others of it, it's like it's so unconfirmable that it's like let's talk about something else, you know. Though it's somewhat entertaining maybe to think about. For sure, Sonny, for sure. What if we are the reptilians and they are trying to shut that part of the brain down? That is a trippy thought. Well, Lee, I think that we have a reptilian brain. Like, yeah, I don't know. Aren't reptiles the only things without pineal glands too? Like, every animal has a pineal gland except for reptiles. I don't know what the connection is there, but that's interesting. Um, but yeah, the other crazy part though is that they obviously have access to like advanced, like pretty shocking technology or information, right? Nordics are for sure the good ones, Sonny, from what I heard. Um, and part of that is how they know. If we put fluoride in the water, fluoride absorbs to their pineal gland faster than any other tissue in the body. Then we put heavy metals around because that will alter their vibrational frequency in conjunction with the towers. Like they have a very interesting um, scientific to a T how to manipulate us because they actually understand like how our body really functions vibrationally. And so they have a funny way with that. Basecamp said, "What is the point for the elite to poison us and control our currency? Is it just for money and power? They have so much already." That's a great question. And I believe 100% it absolutely has nothing to do with like money and power are what a lot of people think these corporations, like they're just trying to be profitable. Also, the heads of the corporations are involved in like secret societies that are made like a pact to rebel against God, rebel against the natural world. And they too, though, are manipulated by another layer of control. Apparently, it goes like this: it's us, then it's governments, then it's the banks, central bank, the central bank of central banks. Above that, you have, or somewhere in there, it's like the intelligence agencies, and then somewhere in there is the secret societies. And then apparently the secret societies contact, and even Alex Jones mentioned this a long time ago, that they regularly communicate with like either straight up demonic evil shit on the other side of the realm we can't quite see, but apparently the head of the snake is AI. The head of the snake is a non-biological life, a non-biological entity. So people are thinking it's the Rothschilds or this, that. I mean, they have some role to play, obviously, but they didn't come up with this big plan and big idea, apparently. Apparently, at the tip top of this thing, it's not even human. It's like a virus that I got to watch another, either Simon Parks or one of those guys did a video on it. But again, do we need to? I mean, it's interesting to talk about this, but Simone said chlorine. Obviously, you could say it's quite important to know who or what is really pulling the strings in this reality, but also there's some people who know all about every bloodline, George Bush and all this, but they eat McDonald's or but they're showering in chlorine and like they are right that they're cool and into learning this stuff, but I feel like a lot of people kind of don't attach health to this and don't get into the health rabbit hole other than maybe just thinking like go to the gym and like eat more chicken, like and chicken and rice and bulk or trim or whatever it is. Like that's healthier, of course, but I'm just saying people are sometimes not focusing on the pineal gland side of things, the spiritual vibrational frequency side of things that has to do with the food and water supply. So it's shocking. Congratulations, by the way, to who just got the mail stack. One of you guys just got the mail vitality stack at chalk.com with the code 60life, which means you're getting the $100 bag of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia included in your order. Congratulations to who just got the mail stack with that insane freaking discount. Make sure that still works, by the way, because I heard it was for today only. We are coming up to the end of the day. I don't know how many uses are left. But go to chalk.com, put the male or female stack in your cart. You're going to be detoxing, you're going to be calibrating, you're going to be increasing your vibrational frequency massively. And if you get a stack, you're getting a $100 bag of the chocolate powder if you're one of the next two people. Basecamp said, do we need to take more blue spirulina than just one dose of Chadmode a day to bind this crap they are bombarding us with? That's a good question. I usually like I don't think I ever do one scoop. I always do at least two. I'm not going to say like, no, you need to do 5 scoops a day. Like there is a lot of caffeine too. I think that it's more important to consistently get the blue spirulina in the Chad mode. We're talking about the Chad mode, by the way, guys. Into you. I think it's more important to get it into you consistently than at like necessarily like super high or higher doses. Like a scoop a day, every single day, is better than uh, 3 scoops a day, but only for like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I think detox every day, like brushing your teeth. Exactly, Sonny. Well, see, that's the thing. When you're taking chalk, you're incorporating this into your lifestyle, not necessarily willy nilly putting it on a shelf and having it for when you one day want to like do a quick little detox here and there. Like I'm just kind of taking Shilajit every day and blue spirulina every day in the Chad mode. And Sonny said, if you're not detoxing, you're accumulating toxins. I gotta like trademark that or something, man. I came up with that in the summer. I said, if you're not detoxing, you are accumulating. And I think I actually haven't heard anyone else say that. I think that is cool, but I'm not proud. Pride is not the proper thing to do. I'm happy that I thought of that. But yeah, if you're not actively detoxing, you are definitely accumulating. It is a shocking thing. But it's also good to know because then it's not like a big mystery, like, you know. That's a good question. Caddy said, "Do you know why it's called Chad mode?" That's a good question, dude. So if you type in like Chad, right? Chad is kind of like a known, what do they call them? Like a peak, and women can take Chad mode too, of course. Jennifer just got, or not Jennifer, Lydia just got a Chad mode. Uh, but a Chad is like the peak male form, like a Giga Chad. Like, let me see what the actual definition is. It's been so long. Hold on a sec. So I guess Urban Dictionary I'll have to do. A Chad in modern internet slang is generally a alpha male. The term has become a slang across the internet, uh, and it refers to particularly attractive or confident males. Hold on a sec. So it's something like that, right? Um, so Chad mode is that you're taking something that like a Chad would take. It's this thing that's detoxing you. It's energizing. It also actually has on the D the Chad meme. You may have seen this guy's face before. This meme face of like a Chad, like jawline impeccable, like you know what I mean. So that's why they call it Chad mode. And it is a funny conversation piece too. I will say, if you have Chad mode, it's like, hold on, what do you got there, dude? And it's blue. I told you it's blue spirulina, but you've seen how blue the water. Like I should have a Chad mode right now, actually. Um, look, I gotta turn my blue light screen off. This is how blue your Chad mode is when let's get that to focus here. Hold on. This is how blue your Chad mode is. Like it is as blue as the bluest sky when they're not spraying chemtrails. It's like incredible, dude. Shout out to Conco. We did cover the floods kind of. I mean, basically, I don't know if there's any new news other than that they are affecting our weather and they're blaming it on climate change so that they can make new laws and policies that can control us further, and that it's they make it seem like they're see when people see this is the thing, climate protesters, it's a funny bunch of people who goes to a climate protest because they beg for climate action now. Do they even know what is climate action exactly? Because I'll tell you what it is: more rules, regulations, restrictions, and degradations to our freedom under the guise of saving or helping the climate. You can't look at the institutions or whatever who ban, um, who are trying to cut back on like our ability to drive, for example. or they pretend that they're trying to pass policies to protect the environment, but at the same time, they approve the spray of billions of pounds of glyphosate into the soil every year, which is the most toxic herbicide out there. So you're telling me they're trying to save the environment by getting us to drive electric cars because they care so much about the environment, but they approve glyphosate and atrazine being sprayed, which is the one that reverses the gender of frogs. Wow, Sonny, is your son really named Chad? Did I forget that? Holy crap. Sonny's son is named Chad Mode, and he loves Chad Mode. Of course, I would, if that said Shane Mode, I would also be stoked. That is freaking awesome. And when anyone comments Chad or their username is Chad, I'm like, yo, you gotta try the Chad Mode, dude. I would get it just if my name was Chad. Um, the other thing I want to say, guys, just so you know, Sunny, she designed the flag for Orange County in 1968. And so if you're in Orange County, Sunny is the one who drew that flag in like 11th grade. Can you freaking believe that? Copper Rock said, most of my best friends are named Chad. Dude, that's hilarious, man. I know one guy named Chad. Uh, he's an interesting fellow, man. The other guy I knew, yeah, anyway, I've known a few Chads as well. It's Chadwick, eh? You know that. Yeah, get your noggin jogging with the Chad mode, exactly, Sonny. But yeah, congratulations to the guy who just got the mail stack with the code 60life, and he's getting his free lit as well. There's several people on the site right now. If you're on the site, make sure you put that discount code on there. And you're getting the free lit. If you order now, we're going to be closing this deal like literally imminently. But if you order now with that code 60life, you're going to get that free bag of chocolate powder, the organic heirloom cacao, $100 value. But make sure it's a male or female stack or a performance stack to get the freebie. Evil preys on pain. All they want is for us to go, well, Copper, yeah, somewhat, for sure. Yeah, isn't that cool that Sunny did that? She left her mark, you know. Lou, you should send me that video of the trails, though. That is shocking. Look at all the fuel they use for the weather modification. Oh yeah, true. If you, that's true, actually, dude. Um, Apart from them spraying us with stuff, which is obviously horrible for the environment, they also use a shitload of fuel to spray us, which is in their eyes not good for the climate, right? Carbon emissions. But you know what's crazy, eh? I loved that Swing was shocked about this too, and Copper Rock. That, listen to this, planes may not actually run on nearly as much jet fuel as they say. Eh? There's a going theory that these planes like actually use kind of a form of free energy where they use a bit of jet fuel to get the plane going. And then once they're at altitude, the pressure like pushes compressed air, like compresses air through the turbine, which keeps it spinning. But obviously, there has to be some amount of jet fuel that is used when they're up there because some like planes have run out of gas, right? So they do use some, but that might be to maintain like other systems or something, or some function of the engine does need um, the jet fuel, but like the majority of it is powered from compressed air. And don't take my, I'm not saying that is 100%, but I'm just saying there's a theory, and it is if you type in jet fuel hoax on Rumble, it is pretty shocking, man. There's a couple of videos on it, and it does make you wonder. Like, there's no way that much fuel is fitting in those planes. Frank said Daiquat is even worse, and it's apparently approved to spray on our foods. No way, Frank. Did they really approve Daiquat for food? Dude, there's a guy who my brother was working on his cottage, and the guy was dumping glyphosate into the lake because he's in a part of the lake where there's weeds and he doesn't like that. And it's like super protected, like because it's a wetland. And this freaking city pouring glyphosate into the lake to try to get rid of the weeds. And I'm thinking, damn, he should have used diquat. That's an aquatic herbicide, but not actually. But anyway, isn't that shocking? So diquat is a herbicide used on food crops like potatoes as a vine killer, beans and lentils, and for aquatic weed control. Wow. I love how they say, though typically found at low regulated levels. If they throw the word regulated on you, think, oh, they did the due diligence for me, so it's all good. Freaking joke, man. Oh, I also heard about bunker fuel. What's bunker fuel, dude? I don't know that I've ever heard of that. Sonny said he was born at home and came out in a blue bubble. He held his own head up the night he was born too. Wow, Sonny. That's amazing. That's amazing. I have a friend named Marina, and they call her Marina because she came out in the sack of water, in the amniotic sac, and then they had to poke it, and then she came out of there. But not C-section, vaginally delivered, but in the amniotic sac. Is that crazy or what? How were all you guys born, man? I was born chill. I was in a hospital though, but yeah, I was born naturally, you could say, no drugs or anything. But then we know people today. I mean, the rates of drug births, pitocin and what's the other one? An epidural and C-section. Like it's getting crazy, dude. They it is actually horrifying when you find out if you just type this in. I don't know if you guys will be as interested or shocked in this as I, but if you go and watch videos by this girl who, by the way, was deleted off of Amazon because of her books, Janice Barcelo has some pretty shocking information to share with the world and her story. And she basically thinks that it is like satanically designed hospital births and that it's totally a rebellion against God and the natural world, uh, what they're doing in those hospitals, and that it's intentional. It's not like science hasn't caught up, like they don't quite know what's wrong. She has another idea, but I'm not saying a doctor would be doing evil, like they would be doing what they're taught, but that's where the problem is. No, actually, I've not, Kanko. Is that an A or an O? That is an O. Okay, so hold on. I guess we're going to be buttoning up this deal. Hold on a sec. Anyone else on the fence? This is the last call to get the free chocolate powder included in your order. The organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia. If you're on the fence, male or female stack, put the coupon code 60life on the stack at chalk.com. 60% off for life. Cancel or modify at any time. And if you order tonight now, you're going to get that free $100 bag of the chocolate powder. Over 1 million babies are aborted in India per year because they're girls. They should have never turned on ultrasound over there then, man. That's freaking crazy. Isn't it in the millions of see, this is a dark subject, man. Abortion, like, oh my gosh. I saw the meme, it was like a bunch of NPCs, right? Standing there, and the text box above all their heads is um the text box above their heads says, abort our own children, import hostile immigrants, disarm ourselves. It was like all these NPCs saying the same thing at the same time. And it's like, I guess that technically is going on. That's an interesting way of framing it, but you know, I don't even know what country that was in reference to, like if that was the UK or what, but it was shocking regardless. And a lot of, dude, I've seen street interviews where they ask like different women on the street, like, what's the most important policy that you would like voted for that you wanted to see? And a lot of it was just to do with abortion, man, which it's like, really, that's the biggest kicker there. Oh, he was a blue bubble that filled the room with a blue aura. Oh, Sonny, I kind of thought like you meant he came out a bit blue because babies do that, and that is normal or natural. But that's very interesting, Sonny. Very interesting. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna pick up where we left off tomorrow. Um, if you get a stack tonight, you're getting a free lit. So if you're on the fence, you haven't tried it yet, this is an amazing deal. It's better than Black Friday. 60 life is the code. Free lit included in your order. Uh, and DM me, of course, if you have any questions anytime. All right. And make sure your live notifications are on here as well, so you know when I'm live next. Okay. Thank all of you, literally, dear souls, for joining. We're going to keep building up the Rumble channel as well. It's super bulletproof. Um, so much love to you guys. Thank you. And welcome all the new people too. You got Bobby, you got Kanko, Nova's not too new. You got Caddy, Frank, of course, shout out to Frank. Okay, we'll see you guys all in the next one. And Strong As, we got to talk more about that. 15 million in 20. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, we'll see you guys in the next one. Much love, all right?